Stutters, unoptimization, and performance issue.
It's in the game.
Yes, it's in the game. And we have 4 games over here. Dirt Rally 2.0, EA Sports WRC, Richard Burns Rally, and WRC.
We don't do that.
Finally, the wait is over and we have the most awaited rally title, EA Sports WRC. And my first impression by simply looking at this game gave me Need for Speed vibes. Because EA, as of now we have patch 1.3. Please note that these observations are based on patch 1.3 and the further things will be ironed out in the near future. Hopefully, the game is developed in Unreal Engine 4 and it is severely unoptimized. I ran the game on an ultra-wide monitor with RTX 3060 in high settings and I was averaging around 65 to 70 FPS with frequent dips. The stuttering became so awful that it started to affect the playability. Current patch solved majority of it, but the game still stutters heavily in the dense areas and no amount of fiddling in advanced settings worked. I tried dropping the car reflections to ultra low, but that did not work either. DLSS helped, but not much. Anyways, as long as the developers are not abandoning the game, it's just going to be fine. If you remember, in the early days of Dirt Rally 2.0, it was a hot mess. It was poorly unoptimized and the groupie car felt weird. The FFP was garbage. But over time, the game got better. Now the real question is, are the days of Dirt Rally 2.0 over? Maybe, maybe not. Let's find out. When it comes to handling realistic physics, everybody have their preferences. And so do I. I can simply name one of the games and be done with it. But that's not enough. Or dare I say, fair. Let me elaborate. Say hello to my very mathematical and overly complex physics scale, where 0 represents arcade and 10 represents simulation. Now pay attention. I consider SimCade to be in a range of 4 to 6. If Rally 2.0 falls somewhere around 7, then EAWRC is a 6. And I have my reasons for that. On the other hand of the scale, we have the legendary RSF RBI sitting at 9 and BeamNG at a solid 10. Now this is purely my opinion. Feel free to tell me about yours. Oh no, I forgot about generations. Anyways, the gravel feels almost the same as Rally 2.0, but opposite is the case with tarmac. I love it. The weight of the car could be felt slightly more and provides a good sense of control. Although you need to apply brakes a bit harder in WRC and weight shift is missing when braking. Even Rally 2.0 did it better. In fact, the braking physics are well demonstrated in RBR and BeamNG, which is really close to real life. As much as I enjoyed playing in WRC, I must address the grip levels of this game. Despite all the assists turned off, the game seems to correct the driving errors. You can get away with it even if you drive recklessly. Try doing that in RBR. You can evidently feel the available grip slipping away from you. The fear factor is off the charts. You are fighting to get a hold on your car at 140 km per hour, knowing very well that even the slightest of overcorrection can be disastrous. But in WRC, you can roll over the grass, bump it in the trees, throw it down the hill, and the car still manages to run. In fact, the damage model of Rally 2.0 is better than WRC. Also, when your car goes wee, it feels planted just like Rally 2.0. The car might feel unpredictable at times, but it has got your back. Whereas in RBR, the car is totally unpredictable and might wreck your suspension if you land too hard. By far, RBR has got the best air physics as of now. Well, to understand the car better, you need to install proper tires, depending upon the terrain. Talking about it, the snow tires do not seem to be doing a good job in both Rally 2.0 and WRC. Yes, the car is supposed to lose grip on snow and should feel slippery. But aren't we supposed to feel the weight of the car? It becomes difficult to understand where the car wants to go. Instead, I keep on guessing when should I counter steer. For understanding the overall movement of a car, you should really try RBR. If for whatever reason you do not want to play RBR, might I suggest BeamNG instead. I understand, it is not a rally game, but it is a good simulator. You can feel your car losing grip, and yes, the weight shift is evident. You can do micro corrections and save your car from slipping. The physics are top notch. Tire selection with better physics is sporadic. Rally 2.0 had the option for choosing tires, while WRC does not have it, at least not in time trials. Moreover, rear-wheel drive cars feel more in control and don't feel savage in WRC, while they felt scarier in Rally 2.0, especially the Group B cars, the infamous and deadliest in the history. The first twin-charged Lancia Delta S4 of 500 brake horsepower Group B feels like a Tortuga. This was the last Group B car before the whole class got banned. The car feels underpowered and a lot safer to drive here. Sadly, I have to mention this, but the speed sense in WRC is a bit disappointing. 190 km per hour does not feel like it. Seems like WRC has dumbed down most of the deadliest cars. Wet stages have become easier in WRC. All in all, the game felt toned down. Is that a bad thing? You tell me. Coming to the most awaited topic of discussion, force feedback. When it comes to force feedback, it is subjective. It is just like choosing the best flavor for your frosted cake. Moreover, I'm having a belt-driven base, so I can't speak for direct drive bases. Although a decent mix of details can be expected from the belt-driven bases. For me, force feedback should feel natural and comfortable to drive. I do not want to wrestle a polar bear. I just want to feel a considerable mix of fun and practicality in it. Mind you, too many details might get confusing and distracting. It depends upon what to feel while driving and what feedback helps you to drive effectively. Now, if you want my force feedback settings, here is how I have set them. First, you open up the Thrustmaster control panel and set the damping settings all the way to 0. Next up is the game's force feedback setting, where the self-aligning torque is at 55 or maybe 58. You can increase or decrease according to your liking. Now about wheel friction. It tells you how much viscosity you need when you turn the wheel. In other words, how heavier or lighter you want to feel the wheel. I have set it at 40. After that comes the most important one, tire friction and tire slip. Tire slip is the relative motion between a tire and the road surface it is moving on. Rally is nothing without sliding and scanty flicks. So, the more you feel the car sliding on the road, the better sense of control you have. The moment you get your traction back, you push your throttle and whoosh! The tire slip option was disabled in Rally 2.0, but WRC lets you have your own settings. Finally, at last, suspension settings. It depends upon how much you want to feel bumps on the surface. Once again, these are the settings I feel comfortable with, which provide me decent details to understand the car better in belt-driven bases. For DDs, it will differ. The force feedback helps you to feel the weight shift. I set my force feedback in a way where both the games could output a similar feeling so that I could decide which one is better. I even chose the same car in a similar track just to find out that WRC felt slightly better and smoother. It is more fun to drive in. Also, I must address that force feedback depends upon the game as well. RBR, on the other hand, provides a much stronger force feedback. You can feel the car's body movement more vividly. Weight shift while braking in RBR feels more natural too. You could feel the kinetic energy shifting towards the front of the car. Alas, that can't be felt in either of the Codemasters game. If I can feel the feedback properly in my Thrustmaster, clearly they are headed in right direction. While you can play WRC and Rally 2.0 on a controller, RBR seems to be a tough cookie. The details you need to feel in RBR sadly can't be felt on a controller. Even EA suggests playing WRC on a controller for the best experience. So far, WRC looks decent and slightly improved over Dirt Rally 2.0. Not significant though, but here's what they can add. Extra game modes, which reminds me, where are the Rally GT cars? Perhaps they should include more Rally Cross cars and stages too. I wouldn't be surprised if we have to pay for it because EA, not that any other game does it, but it's EA, you know. It would be even better if you could choose the weather and time of the day with separate leaderboards for that. That was the only thing I liked about Generations. Having more tire options depending upon terrain should be present in the game. Tire choice is only available in career mode. Sadly, in time trial, the game does not offer any selection. Now comes the favorite part. Areas of improvement. First and foremost, optimization and ability to run without upscaling. Hopefully, the future patches will solve this issue. Stuttering issues need to be resolved which persists. Although, patch 1.3 has improved co-driver calls, but it feels it needs to be a tad bit more earlier. That reminds me, I miss Phil Mills as my co-driver. He was strapped to a motion simulator while recording pace notes. Of course, Phil Mills felt more natural and immersive. His voice was like music to my ears. His enunciation was on point and they were audible, unlike WRC's co-drivers. WRC co-drivers sounds very studio-ish and lacks thrill and could be a bit more louder. The speech could be a bit more clearer. I often lose focus because the tone puts me to sleep. It's very boring. Rally is supposed to be thrilling and intriguing. And what is up with the sounds in this game? Engine sounds like a juicer mixer for most cars. And if you release the clutch too early, the gearbox grind should be there. But it isn't. Which, by the way, they nailed in Rally 2.0. You cannot shift gears simply by listening to the engine. Well, you can, but the engine is not enthusiastic. It is more monotonous, like a sheep. Audio levels need adjustments, which by the way still does not go below 50. For the love of God, why?
Hey, why? Why? Because we can!
And you do not have access to your previous records once you break it. What if someone wants to compare the splits? The cinematic view is meh. Along with that, why doesn't the pole sign budge even after ramming cars in it? Bushes are too strong to make your car stop. Oh, I forgot.
EA Sports. It's in the game.
Anyways, what I liked about this game is that it has got lots of tracks to pick from and tarmac is better. As long as you want to have fun and casually drive, WRC is a fine game. But challenge is what you are looking for, then you might not be satisfied. Now these were my opinions, and if you do not agree with me, that's completely fine. Do let me know about yours in the comments down below. In WRC, cars feel grippy and the tracks become easier once you adapt. Although the long tracks are definitely more enjoyable to drive and Rally 1 cars are a good addition. But the hybrid mechanism does not excite me much. I would still prefer the sheer power over the hybrid trickery. Players have been really struggling with the boost mechanism of the game. Rallying has become safe now. Gone are the days when private teams and road-going cars could compete. While complying with FIA regulations, cars have become cost-effective and environmental friendly. But I would still prefer the good old days when rally drivers didn't have the trickery of hybrid mechanism. Now comes the question, where does WRC stand in my ranking list? Let's see. Again, these are my preferences and it does not mean that any game is lagging behind. For me, the first place goes to RBR. Despite being a 2-decade-old game, courtesy of the Hungarian team, yes, the graphics are not that appealing, but some of us do not care about graphics at all when it comes to physics. Also, I would like to do an honorable mention to BeamNG. Since it is not a pure rally game, that's why I'm not putting it in the list, but it has got the best physics. Before I had discovered RBR, I used to think Rally 2.0 to be the deadliest rally game ever. Yes, I learned what deadly means and RBR is lethal. On the contrary, WRC is beginner friendly and, according to me, not worth the full price. The devs needs to fix the optimization issues. Wait, I forgot about generations, didn't I? Never mind. Let me know your opinions in the comments down below and tell me what you liked and disliked about this game. Till then, keep your revs up and I shall see you next time. Bye!